Hey. Hi. So, I'm making this video. I'm actually going live right now on Instagram. But I will try to save it. Hopefully I can. Sometimes Instagram be giving me problems. But I want to start posting to YouTube way more. So, yeah, I'm just going to go live right now and try to save it and then post it to YouTube. So, the topic of today is, do you have space? Okay? Excuse my voice a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but whatever. So, yes, today's topic is, do you have space? So, I was thinking, I was sitting with God, I was in meditation, kind of just daydreaming a little bit, honestly. And I realized that I remember when I was a kid and we would do these worksheets in class, and it would be sentences and we would have to figure out if it was a fact or an opinion. And I'm not going to lie, I would kind of struggle with that because I felt like a lot of it was perspective. I'm like, well, this can be a fact if you feel like it's a fact, and this can be an opinion if you feel like it's an opinion. Whatever. But holding space for both of those things, and also holding space for what I like to call like an absolute truth, which is like God, which is spirit, can sometimes be challenging. Especially if you didn't learn that as a kid, to kind of connect to God, or to really just integrate your higher self, So I started to think about what I thought absolute truths were. And I feel like the goodness of God, the goodness that we all are, is like the ultimate goodness. I feel like at the end of life, at the end of everything, and at the beginning of everything, there is goodness. And I feel like that energy is way more powerful than anything else we can create out of illusion, out of lack, or anything like that. So, I started to think about that truth. The fact that everything really is good and everything is going to be okay, and releasing fear and things like that. I started to think about, do I even have the space for the truths that I know? Sometimes it feels like I know certain things, but I'm not practicing certain things. And that's why I feel like it's so important to practice what you preach, because a lot of the time we are preaching to ourselves and we're not listening to ourselves. So I'm like, do I even have space for what I'm believing? Like, do I even embody this energy? If I'm not embodying it, why not? Maybe because I don't have this space within myself. Maybe I'm holding on to other things that are not leaving space for God to shine through. And that's really what I want this message to be about, is making room for God to shine through you. Really. When you start to release certain things, when you start to sit with yourself more, when you start to sit in solitude and silence and really give God a chance to talk to you, you will have profound experiences, and those will be your own experiences. And a lot of us feel like people are like dick riding God. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but honestly, but if you knew how powerful and how beautiful and all of that type of stuff that energy is, then you would be on the bandwagon too. You would be very grateful, and you would submit to a certain extent, because you understand that everything is not in your control, and that there is something very divine, which is you, that still has integrity, and it will love you unconditionally. So, I'm looking at my little notes, okay? So I want to hit every point. Yeah, so I thought about, how often do I clean myself out? How often do I clean my space? How often, every day, do I make space for God to shine through? Like, how often do I say, You got this. Like, and just let God handle shit. You know what I'm saying? And just really be in the present moment. How often do I do that? So I started to do that more. Y'all. But anyway, okay, so let's see what else I wanted to hit on. Oh, okay. I started to have some type of resistance when I was thinking this, right? When I was like, let God come in. Like, I started to feel like my life was not going to be what I wanted it to be. Because some people, you know, I grew up around a lot of religious people. So some people feel like, you know, like you just live a life completely devoted to God. And I had resistance with this feeling. I did, because it's like, I don't want to be a slave. That's what it felt like. It felt like I had a master, and it felt like I was a slave, and it felt like if I had to be of service, it felt too close to slavery. It felt like I had to, like, I felt extremely needed. And sometimes I just want to be. Right, let go and let God. I just want to be. I just want to let go. And not feel less than. Not feel like I'm not of service. Not feel like whatever I was feeling. All of that, like, resistance and guilt and shame for relaxing. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. I felt like I wouldn't be free if I started to devote my life. If I started to live my life with more intention, with more divine intention. But in reality, because I am that, because I am God, because I am, because of I am, I'm not obligated. I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to be of service if I don't want to be of service. But living my life in service of my higher self is still pleasing myself. So sometimes we have to put our pride and ego aside to be able to submit. And that's where I had a disconnect with my feminine energy. But we'll talk about that another day. Okay? Having resistance to submitting, to letting go of your pride, because there is a higher you that knows better than you fucking know, whether you believe that or not. If you think you fucking know everything, just go ahead and exit. Okay, go somewhere else. Okay? You don't even need to know this. You know everything. But if you feel like you don't know everything, know that you don't know everything. So there's a good and a bad to that. Some things you don't know that may harm you, you don't know. And there's some things that are really working out in your fucking favor that you don't know. But allow that energy to come in even more. Allow that energy to shine in, and trust that there is a version of you that knows your heart and knows your true desires, and that when you be of service to humanity, to yourself, when you be of service to yourself first and foremost, you will reap the benefits, and it will be the benefits you want. It won't just be, oh, you get to smile and watch everybody take from you. No, you will actually get money. You will have long-lasting friendships and feel fulfilled. You will have experiences that shake your life forever, to the point where you start preaching the gospel of God. That's how it goes. You become of service to yourself, and you see the benefits, and you like, hey, y'all, I found the secret, and I want to share it. It's an ever giving thing. It's not something that you gatekeep. It's a spider on my phone, y'all. I don't even want to kill it. Oh, it's a baby spider. Should I just blow it off? Fuck it. Okay, whatever. I don't know where it went, but anyway, shout out to that spider. Let's see. So, again, like I said, I started having some hesitancies around being of service. And so I had to think to myself a little bit. When I am working in service, when I am in service and flow, really, when I am in flow with myself and I'm not resisting myself or the essence of life, what is it that I experience that makes me want to go with the flow? Like, why am I going with the fucking flow? Why? Like, why? And so I had to take another step back. This has been like a couple weeks of work, y'all. Really a couple years to even get to this understanding, but then a couple weeks of like practicing certain things. So I really had to slow down with my life and become really, really present. And almost like every hour, every other hour, I was experiencing emotion. And these emotional points, they kind of triggered me to be more present, and it made me reflect. So there can be an emotional point where like I feel really, really good, and it's like, wow, like I'm seeing people smile. I'm seeing that the readings I'm giving to people, my energy, my essence itself is really helping people. Like people really love to be around me. Like I'm raising a vibration of people. People are inspiring me too. I'm not just doing this to other people. It's people that walk around me with an unprideful love and an unconditional love that inspire me every day to love harder, to love more, and to let my love go, to not even hold on to my love, to give my love without expecting it to come back in a certain form. You can expect for it to come back. You want reciprocity. But putting expectations on how it exactly comes and not allowing it to come as it wants is where we kind of fuck up. But anyway, I digress. So I started to see that I was making people smile. I started to realize how people were impacting me. I realized the impact. And this has helped with imposter syndrome of me not feeling like people see me or remember me or whatever the case may be. I remember. And I was there. And that impacted me. And when I acknowledge that and accept that, then I start to embrace and acknowledge the power that God has and the power that life has, and just the power I have to even notice that and walk around with it. You know what I'm saying? So being of service is an empowering thing because I know what's going on. I know the impact that taking the initiative to be the goodness in people's lives has. In the goodness in my own life. Again, I'm always bringing it back to you. You should definitely be of service to yourself first. And that is a challenging thing. It seems easy, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just get myself up, I'm gonna brush my teeth, but if you know, you know. It's not always that easy. So moving forward, let's see what else I got here. It's beautiful to inspire people to witness the joy and smile of another, especially when there is purity and divinity encapsulating the moment. I love to be that spark of light. I love being a lighthouse in that way, of service of my higher self. And just how empowering does it feel to feel fulfilled within, to create from a space only seen through self-illumination. This is a really good point I want to talk about. So I started thinking about the Illuminati, right? Because I kind of like to dig into taboo topics, because why is it taboo? Why the fuck we can't talk about it, bitch? Like, you know, especially when it comes to knowledge and shit. So I've witnessed people turn into light. I've seen pictures of people just turn their whole body into light. And I'm really obsessed with that. And I think that it comes from self-illumination, lighting up yourself within. The way you feel about the sun when the sun is on you, if you have that light within, I feel like you can become your whole light self. So I practice that. I practice opening up myself, letting things go, and letting that light shine through. And that's why people say, oh, you're glowing today. Oh, yeah, I wonder the fuck why. But illuminating yourself, hacking yourself, knowing what works for you, really learning yourself will illuminate you. You will become excited to venture into the forest of yourself. Okay? You are a whole forest. You are a whole ecosystem. As Moses Jones is popping through, so you guys might want to watch that movie. But just having a whole universe, that's corny, but it's true. Just illuminating yourself, catering to yourself. Hold on, y'all, I'm getting some downloads at the same time. Okay. I think I'm going to stop there. I have another part that I want to talk about, and I'm really excited to talk about it, but I am not going to talk about it on this live right now. I just want to continue to talk about what we've been talking about. So, yes. Now, let me put this in like a digestible form, palatable form. So, basically what I'm saying is, do you have space for goodness? Do you have space for God? This is how you can check to see if you have space for God. This is how you can just start making space. Even if you already have space, make more. So, the way you can do that is by practicing being present. If you're having trouble being present, practice breathing. Okay, sometimes we have to break something all the way down to make it digestible. Sometimes we are a baby in certain situations. We are ignorant to certain things. When a baby is eating, you have to chop the food really, really, really small so that it doesn't fucking choke on it. Okay, so sometimes you gotta chop it all the way down. You may have a big goal, but you gotta go chop, 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 chop. Okay, so if you can't even bring yourself to be present in the moment, practice breathing, really listening to your breath. Inhale through your nose, hold, exhale through your mouth. Okay, listen to that at least 3 times. That'll bring you to the present moment. And I want you to just look around. What do you see? How do you feel? What thoughts are going through your head? What things are you tasting in your mouth? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Really go through your senses and just observe. Do this without any feeling, any emotion. I don't want to say any feeling. Do it without any emotion. And just really observe. Not even from a logical standpoint, but just being pure awareness. And then find things that you are grateful for and make it a game of I Spy. Okay, make it a little fun. I spy with my little eye something to be grateful for. This will start to light it up. It's like flicking on a light switch. Start to light up the room, okay? We're gonna start there. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm getting some more downloads. Okay, be present. I spy. Okay. Also do this within yourself too. Sometimes I know that a lot of us work and we have a lot of distractions. Some of us may even have kids, but I want you to find a spot. I'm seeing the bathroom is a great spot for privacy. This is usually where people leave you alone. And if you have to, I'm hearing lie, but you don't really need to lie. Just take some time to yourself and do this within yourself. Take a second to just breathe. What are you smelling like? What are you feeling like? What are you tasting? What are you hearing? What are you seeing with your eyes closed? And if you can't see with your eyes closed, listen to some guided meditations. Okay? So I'm recommending breathing exercises, guided meditations, being more present, being more grateful, and spreading love without an exact expectation of the form is going to come back in. Expect it to come back in a good form, but that's about it. So that's what I wanted to talk about with y'all today. Hopefully Instagram will let me save this live so that I could post it on YouTube. But this live will be posted, like I said, if you want to go back and rewatch it. Before I get off here, do anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? I am open to reading you guys. So if you have a question very specific to your life, we can pull some guidance from Spirit or the Akash for you. So I'll allow a few minutes if anybody want to comment anything. And let me see if I can channel any messages for the collective if anybody does not have questions. So I am seeing one message that I'll share. I'm seeing a Chinese fence. I'm really not sure what they're called, but it's like a gateway. It's like a doorway. So I think there's a transition that we all are going through collectively, and we're crossing some type of threshold. And beyond this threshold is our future, and our future looks a little bit different than what I think people may think it looks like. And I'm seeing a very futuristic, rustic feel. I believe that we're going to move into a more green movement, a more grounded in earth, supportive movement. But with the balance of technology, advanced technology to help society more than harm. And I'm seeing like advanced technology being in like just the most basic households. And I feel like we have a lot of fear and resistance and restriction on technology. And that is an internal thing. A lot of us are resistant to our higher intelligence, i.e. God, i.e. your higher self, your spiritual teachers, your help on the other side. I keep hearing he's got friends on the other side from Princess and the Frog. Now I know that's like a scary part of the movie, but we have friends on the other side. What you have on this side, you have on the other side. You have family, you have parents, you have things like that. So I think that the more we embrace the future, the more we put our hands in it in a positive way every day, just making those, being of service to our higher selves, we will collectively create a world we love more. So, that's all I have to say. I love you guys. If you need any guidance, any help, spiritual questions, feel free to book with me, message me directly or comment. And yeah, peace, y'all.